Hi, my name's Bobby with Visual Impact, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Sony FS5 4K camera. For those unfamiliar with the FS5 and maybe considering an upgrade from a DSLR or a small chip handheld camcorder, the FS5 is a fully professional camera with the same high quality Super 35 CMOS 4K sensor also used in the F5, FS7 and FS700 cameras, and is capable of producing images with 14 stops of dynamic range. There is a bit more to the FS5 than just sharing a sensor with some of the bigger cameras. There's the ergonomics and the functionality of the camera, and these are really tailored towards single shooters who need a fast setup out of the box. The design of the FS5 is ultra compact and versatile. The camera is completely toolless. What this means is you can remove the top handle, the LCD monitor and the side hand grip without the need for any tools, and all in just under a minute. The body, when it's stripped right the way down, weighs only 800 grams, and when paired with a compact lens, the FS5 becomes an excellent choice for handheld gimbal stabilizers or drones. Event, wedding shooters and documentary filmmakers will definitely find the LCD screen very versatile. It can be mounted on a variety of mounting points around the top of the camera to suit just about any shooting style. In the audio department, the FS5 doesn't disappoint either. You get the standard 2 XLR inputs for professional microphones, but this time Sony's engineers have implemented a clever design by placing one XLR input on the side of the top handles as you'd expect, but the other one they've placed at the bottom right of the camera. Now what this means is even if you've taken the top handle off, you still have one XLR input. The FS5 also features built-in ND filters, or rather a very unique electronic variable ND filter. Now this is yet another very clever feature that the FS5 has. The electronic ND filter is basically a high quality glass element which drops in front of the sensor assembly, and by varying the voltage you get smooth and stepless variations of all ND, all the way from a quarter to 128th. Now in a recent firmware update, Sony also added an automatic ND feature. What this allows you to do is enable the electronic variable ND and use it on difficult shots where the exposure varies significantly. For example, when you're following a subject who enters a dark room from a daylight exterior, under normal conditions with a conventional video camera, you'd have to adjust your lens aperture or increase the strength of your built-in ND. But this can be seen on screen and can become quite jarring and distracting. With this new Auto ND feature that the FS5 has, it will automatically adjust the ND strength as to maintain the same exposure whilst letting you use the same depth of field and without anyone in the audience noticing anything. This is a major feature that both documentary filmmakers as well as event or wedding videographers will definitely appreciate. The FS5 records in a few different codec flavors. There's the brand new XAVC-L codec and also the older XAVC-HD codec. Now we recommend you stick with XAVC-L as it does offer a better picture quality as well as less compression compared to AVC-HD. In 4K, the FS5 records in XAVC-L up to 30 frames per second in 8-bit 420 at 100 megabits per second, which isn't enough for broadcast applications. However, the FS5 does feature a HDMI output at the back, which allows users to use external recorders such as the Atomos Shogun Flame or the Odyssey 7Q+, and you can then get broadcast compliant ProRes in 4K as well as Full HD. Now the FS5 records onto SDXC cards which are very affordable and are readily available. They cost between £30 and £50 depending on the speed and capacity. However, Sony does require UHS-1 U3 compliant SDXC cards in 64 gig capacities or higher for 4K recording, so do bear that in mind. Backup and relay recordings are also possible thanks to the dual SD card slot structure. Things get really interesting when you move down to Full HD. XAVC-L is a full 10-bit 422 codec, which theoretically at least satisfy broadcast requirements. In Full HD, the FS5 can record super slow motion up to 240 frames per second and even 960 frames per second. However, at 960 frames per second, the resolution does drop substantially. It's also worth noting that super slow motion recording is only available in burst mode and is limited to 8 seconds in real time. Now this gives you about a minute and a half when played back at 24 frames per second. 1080-50p slow motion recording is unlimited. At NAB, Sony also announced an additional MPEG-2 HD 422 license, which will allow users to upgrade their FS5s and shoot in the already established 50 megabits per second 422 XD cam codec. Now this is used widely in post-production houses all over the UK and Europe. The license is a paid-for license and it costs around about €500 and it's scheduled to be released this summer. For those who require the maximum dynamic range of the camera, Sony have implemented S-Log2 and S-Log3 gammas, and when combined with external RAW recording in 4K or 2K, the camera does deliver absolutely stunning images. Now, when it comes to RAW functionality, there are a few things to note. Firstly, you can only record RAW externally to a compatible external recorder. This could be something like the Sony AXS-R5 or the convergent design Odyssey 7Q+. You also have to buy the Sony FS5 RAW license, which is currently priced around £375 plus VAT. In addition, you'd also require a license for the Odyssey 7Q+, which has its own RAW license. Once this is all in place, you can record 4K 60p or 2K 240 frames per second RAW via the single output SDI at the back of the camera. All in all, the FS5 is a truly versatile camera which is perfect for event or wedding videographers or for those shooting cinematic corporate videos or commercials. We hope you like this video. Do remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel for further videos. If you've got any comments, drop them in the boxes below and we will see you next time.